So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dale here from Z4 Games. It is the 13th of February, so I thought with Valentine's Day just around the corner, I would do one of the decks that I love the most, and that is the Dark Magician Girl build. Now this is a nice collaboration between, of course, Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician. There are a couple of changes in the deck that you can make depending on how Dark Magician focus you would like to make it. On top of that, the reason this is done on the 13th of February and not the 14th of February is because tomorrow, a loving present from Konami, we have the official release of Salaman Greats, so do check that out for deck profiles, combos, and of course openings on that as well. But without further ado, let me take you through this Dark Magician Girl build. So, we start off with the Dark Magician Girl kind of elements of the deck, and that is triple Dark Magician Girl, of course. One lemon. Now, the reason lemon is so important is because you contribute one Magician Girl monster, accept itself, and add a spellcaster monster from our deck to our hand. So that can search you out anything. That can search you out your Dark Magician, it can search you out any of the other Magician Girls as well. The one Chocolate Magician Girl, this is probably one of the best kind of individual Magician Girls itself. You ditch a spellcaster to draw a card. Now this combos off very, very nicely with some of the other cards in our deck, namely, a little bit of a spoiler here, Keeper of Dragon Magic. And then we've got Kiwi Magician Girl. Now Kiwi Magician Girl is very, very nice because it allows a nice little hand trap boost for all of your Magician Girls on board. And on top of that, it protects all your spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So if you do get Dark Magician the Dragon Knight on board, he will be protecting your back row, and then she will be protecting your other spellcasters. And obviously it can't protect him because he is unfortunately a dragon. But that does then mean you've got spell and trap protection. You then also have protection with some of your spellcasters, and then Dark Magician Dragon Knight can start beating in to win you the game. Then, of course, probably one of the most important cards in the deck, and that is triple Legion the Fiend Jester. Now, the reason this is so important is because this is a one card, normal summon this, get its effect off to tribute again, and go into your Dark Magician Girl. That then gets you into the main engine. That allows you to abuse the abilities of this card, one of my most favourite cards, and that is Sage Stone. Sage Stone allows you to bring out a Dark Magician from your deck. On top of that, we do get a brand new card. I don't know when we officially get it, but it's like the reverse of Sage Stone. It's if you have a Dark Magician, you can bring out a Dark Magician Girl from your deck. So that's pretty cool. Then, of course, onto the Dark Magician engine. Triple Dark Magician, standard. Triple Magician's Rod, again, quite standard. And then Apprentice Illusion Magician kind of falls within both kind of categories. She's very, very powerful. Obviously, searches you out your Dark Magician to hand. You don't want to be doing it all the time. I would say advise to keep this as a bit of a hand trap because you want your Dark Magician to be coming mainly from your deck with Sage Stone, less so your hand, but still very, very good. And then, of course, we've got the one Magician of Dark Illusion and the one Sorcerer of Dark Magic. So, quite simply, you go Legion. Let's say you're playing against Autogeist, you go Legion into Dark Magician Girl, Sage Stone into Dark Magician Girl, and then tribute both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl to go into this guy. You've got a 3200 beta that is just going to keep going neg trap, neg trap, neg trap, neg trap. So he's very, very good. You don't have to play him, you can play Magician of Black Chaos if you wish. Entirely up to you. I just saw a nice little opportunity to play this guy in this deck, and it works out quite nicely. And then finally, Keeper of Dragon Magic. This, of course, gets you into your Mac Daddy, Dark Magician of the Dragon Knight. There you go. But it can also get you into Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. So it'll be very, very cool to kind of get either of those on board. And he's a nice little play around. You can mess around with the ratios at the moment. I've got 2 of him on 1 poly, which is a bit questionable because he'll then become a second dead card. But he's still very, very good at bringing back some of your monsters from the grave. So he can bring back a Dark Magician Girl, even though it will be face down. He can bring it back, so if you can protect it, you flip it next turn. It's a little bit slower, but obviously his main purpose is to get into poly. Quite like Rick and Morty. What is your purpose? You get me poly. Oh my god. Little Rick and Morty reference for you guys out there. Anyway, on to the spells. Triple Dark Magical Circle. Triple Call by the Grave. Now, you want your effects to be going off, especially your Sage Stone, so you've got to be very, very careful on that. Now, unfortunately, the deck has been relatively budget up until now. If you would like a budget build, all you have to do is take this guy out. Triple pot of extravagance. Now, Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl do not rely on their extra deck, so you can take this out if you wish. This can become Lure of Darknesses, this can become Pot of Desires, this can also become Pot of Duality if you wish. Duality less so in this particular build because we do want to be special summoning quite a lot. But yeah, you've just got to be a bit more cautious when kind of using Pot of Desires and stuff like that. But if you want to keep it budget, take these straight out. And then of course we've got double Sage Stone. Easily put them up to 3 if you want to. It is a 42 card deck, so I'm just playing around with the ratios. 1 Poly of course, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Magic Inheritance, you've got loads in the graveyard, 1 Illusion Magic, 1 Dark Burning Magic. What a card. Such a good card. So I know it requires a lot from your hand, but I mean, like, your best kind of scenario is if you go Legion into Dark Magician Girl, activate Dark Magical Circle, search out a Sage Stone, or of course go into like your next turn, go Rod, search out a Sage Stone. But anyway, get to a Sage Stone, activate Sage Stone, bring out Dark Magician, set this guy, or play this guy whenever you want to, set it, let your opponent build their board, end phase YUGIOH, flip. If you control monsters whose original names are Dark Magician Girl, destroy all cards your opponent controls. So let them go card of demise, and once you feel that your Dark Magician and your Dark Magician Girl are in threat, you just go Dark Burning Magic and wreck their board. You've got game. And then one of the most favourite cards in this deck as well is Reasoning. Reasoning is because we have 4s. This one, I don't believe, this one will just go to the grave, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But we've got 4, 7, 6, 3, done a 4, we've got 5 as well. So you've got a nice little range of at least 5 different monsters that can come out off of Reasoning. So, you know, your opponent's probably going to worry about your 7s. You only play 4 7s, 5 6s, 4 3s. Oh, we got 2 as well. Sorry, I always thought she was always thought Lemon Girl was a 3. Anyway, that's it for the spell lineup. Trap lineup is quite small and straightforward. 2 navigations and 2 Eternal Soul. Now, you could play obviously navigation up to 3 if you want to, but the issue with navigation is you have to have the Dark Magician in hand, and now that is where you rely more on this guy. Because you're using and abusing Sage Stone, which I think is a lot faster than this, you know, you're not really that worried about navigation. Don't get me wrong, navigation is a nice little, like, interrupted during your opponent's turn, but I would much rather pull off a Sage Stone and have a more aggressive and faster first turn board than pull off navigation in a defensive play. So like you can see with this build, it is a lot more aggro than the normal Dark Magician build. Then for the extra deck, we've got 2 Dark Magician Dragon Knight. This is the most important one. You do not want to lose both off of your Pot of Extravagance, but still very, very good and powerful. Of course, if you take out Extravagance, you can put Eye of Timaeus in. The reason I've gone with Poly over that is because Poly is technically searchable with, of course, your Keeper of Dragon Magic. So that's the reason I've gone with that. The 1 Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. So really, really cool card. Requires 1 Dragon type, so you know that's straightforward with Keeper of Dragon Magic. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up card on the field, destroy it. So it's a nice little kind of pop and go, and it is during either player's turn. The issue is you do have to send from your hand, so you have to have a bit of hand advantage. Then, of course, with the XYZs, we've got double Ibon Illusion. The 1 Ibon High, again, I put this in all my Dark Magician decks, or the majority of my Dark Magician decks. Very rarely do you ever use it. Your go-to XYZ is this guy. Big Eye, Red Eyes Flare, Naruto. Naruto is actually more consistent in this build because, for example, if you went to, if you were to go Legion into Dark Magician Girl, and then you had an Apprentice, you would have a Dark Magician in hand, you overlay into a Naruto, you've got a bit of a nice protected Naruto, and then if you have Eternal Soul or Navigation, you know, happy days, you're going to disrupt your opponent even more during the next turn. Then of course we've got the Link Spider to loot with Eternal Soul. YUGIOH, everything is dark apart from some of the Magician Girls obviously, so you've got to be very, very careful when using this. Alternatively, you could use Lamp for Linkers if you wanted to. Summon Sorceress, everything is spellcasters in your deck. All the monsters are spellcasters. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of fun with that, except for obviously Keeper of Dragon Magic. So you can have a lot of fun with Summon Sorceress. Is very, very consistent in this deck. The one Unicorn, of course, you've got Phoenix as well. And then, of course, the 2 money cards in the extra deck. Oh, well, my Unicorn kind of is. Borrowed and Borrowed Sword. Very rarely do you go into these. Do not worry about them if you don't have them. These can be any 2 Link monsters. Technically, if you wanted to, and you wanted to go mega budget, you could go... if you wanted to put Eye of Tomycin, you can go Paladin. You could also go Amulet Dragon if you wanted to, depending on what angle you want to push on this. You could bump up your Dark Magicians. You could also go with your Phoenix, Cerberus, and a Decode Talker. So there's a lot of room to play around with. This deck can be made easily budget, and by doing so you don't actually affect too much the consistency of a deck, because it's rare that you'll get into a Link 4. These are just like worst case scenarios. If you have to borrow load, or they've got something you can't target with Circle or anything like that that's going to cause you an issue, you have the ability to kind of tag out and go. But like I said, your go-to play is your Dark Magician girl with the Dragon Knight, or your Dark Magician Dragon Knight, and then your defensive plays is just swarming the board early with level 7s and 6s, and start kind of going ham on your opponent. Anyway, that is it for the Dark Magician Girl deck build. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gave you a couple of ideas on your own build. Like I said, I'm still kind of working around with different routes with this deck. The best thing about Dark Magician, along with stuff like Blue Eyes and Red Eyes, is they have so many different versions, more so the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician than Red Eyes. But of course you've got a pure Dark Magician, you've got Dark Magician with Mahaj, you've got Dark Magicians with Magician of Black Chaos. We'll soon have a Dark Magician Ritual build. You've got the Blue Eyes Chaos Max, you've got Blue Eyes Synchro, you've got Blue Eyes with Infinity, you've got Dark Magician Girl as a full-on pure build, you've got Dark Magician Girl with Dark Magician. Like, the variety is just crazy with what you can do with these decks. And like I said, they're all really, really cheap to pick up as well, because there's been 101 prints of the Dark Magician Girl herself, and some of the other cards as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you all tomorrow with those Salaman Great deck opening, deck profile, and of course combos. So, like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always, guys, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dan here from YUGIOH. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always, guys, happy dueling.